So I hope you took my advice and tried this problem ahead of the video. If you haven't had that chance yet, then pause the video please and try it again right now. Okay, so here's the graph for this function f of x, and the graph is a piecewise graph. There are two pieces, a red one and a blue one. The piece that's in red is the graph of x squared, and that graph looks like a U shape until we get to 2. And then after that graph, we get an 8 minus x graph, which is a straight line going kind of downhill. So the graph that we're looking at has 3 parts. One part that goes from -3 all the way to 0, and then a graph that goes from 0 all the way to 2. And on those two sides, the function is the same. It's always the one in red. Now after that, we get a new graph. So that means we get a new area with a different top than the previous sides. The top here is a straight straight slanted line, whereas the other ones had the curvy parabola. So what does that mean for us? That means if we want to find the total area, then we must do 2 integrals. One integral that stops at the border 2, and another integral that starts at the border 2. Now the first integral goes from -3 all the way to 2. The second integral goes from 2 all the way to 6. And the function is going to be different on each side. This is why I need 2 different integrals. As a matter of fact, on the first integral, from -3 to 2, the function is the red one. So the function of f of x on that side is actually x squared. So that's the answer to the first half. That gives me the yellow integral, the yellow area. And the second integral goes from 2 to 6, and the function there is going to be the function in blue, which is 8 minus x. So here, the function f of x is a different equation, 8 minus x, and that integral is going to give me the blue region that I'm looking for. Now these are integrals, so you evaluate them the same way as before. You just do the integral antiderivative, x cubed over 3, between -3 and 2. Then this plus sign stays kind of in the middle. The antiderivative for 8 is 8x, and the antiderivative for x becomes x squared over 2. And we're integrating these two between 2 and 6. So let me finish the problem kind of off to the side here. So the first integral, we plug in the 2, it gets cubed. Then we plug in the -3, it gets cubed. And that's the answer to the yellow integral. So the upper bound goes in first, then the lower bound goes after. So that whole thing gives me the first region. Then there's the plus that was in the middle. And now we're going to need to plug in the upper bound, which is 6, and the lower bound, which is 2. So let's plug in the 6 next. So 8 times 6 minus 6 squared over 2. That's the upper bound. Then we're going to take away the lower bound. So 8 times 2 minus 2 squared over 2. That whole thing is the lower bound, and we're going to subtract those two. So all of these guys right here represent the blue integral. And now it's just a matter of putting that whole thing into the calculator and getting the solution. So the total turned out to be 83 over 3 when you combine all the yellow numbers with all the blue numbers. And that's the end of the problem.